1. Our vision is only actionable if we share it. Without sharing, it's just a figment of our imagination. Here's what that really means. A compelling future vision can only become a reality if it is effectively communicated and embraced by others. Otherwise, it remains a mere personal dream. 2. We should never change our minds about where we are going, but always be curious about different ways to get there. This quote reminds us that remain steadfast in your ultimate goals or destination, but maintain an open and inquisitive mind about the various paths or methods you might take to achieve them. 3. For values or guiding principles to be truly effective, they have to be verbs. It's not integrity. It's always do the right thing. It's not innovation. It's look at the problem from a different angle. Articulating our values as verbs gives us a clear idea. We have a clear idea of how to act in any situation. Here's what that really means. To be truly actionable, values should be expressed as concrete behaviors rather than abstract nouns. This provides clear guidance on how to behave in different situations. 4. Studies show that over 80% of Americans do not have their dream job. If more knew how to build organizations that inspire, we could live in a world in which that statistic was the reverse, a world in which over 80% of people love their jobs. People who love going to work are more productive and more creative. They go home happier and have happier families. They treat their colleagues and clients and customers better. Inspired employees make for stronger companies and stronger economies. This quote reminds us that creating workplaces that inspire purpose and passion can transform job satisfaction, leading to more productive, creative, and happier individuals, stronger companies, and healthier economies. It advocates for leadership focused on inspiration. 5. Leadership is not about the next election, it's about the next generation. Here's what that really means. True leadership prioritizes long-term societal well-being and future impact over immediate political gain or short-term personal success. It's about legacy. 6. Vision is the ability to talk about the future with such clarity it is as if we are talking about the past. This quote reminds us that true vision involves presenting a future state with such vividness and certainty that it feels as tangible and real as something that has already occurred. 7. The quality of a leader cannot be judged by the answers he gives, but by the questions he asks. Here's what that really means. An effective leader's wisdom is best revealed not by their ability to provide all solutions, but by their skill in asking insightful questions that foster thought and discovery in others. 8. A leader without a title is better than a title without the ability to lead. This quote reminds us that genuine leadership is defined by the capacity to guide and influence others through character and action, not merely by a formal position or designation. 9. Average companies give their people something to work on. The most innovative organizations give their people something to work toward. Here's what that really means. Mediocre companies assign tasks, but truly innovative ones inspire their employees with a compelling purpose or mission, fostering greater engagement and creativity. 10. Some see risk as a reason not to try. Some see it as an obstacle to overcome. The risk is the same, to try or not depends on your perspective. This quote reminds us that the perceived barrier of risk is often a matter of individual mindset. The choice to attempt something or not depends on whether you view risk as a deterrent or a challenge. 11. Value is not determined by those who set the price. Value is determined by those who choose to pay it. Here's what that really means. The actual worth of something is ultimately defined by what a willing buyer is prepared to give for it, not merely by the seller's asking price. It's about perceived worth. 12. Greatness starts with a clear vision of the future. This quote reminds us that Any significant achievement or impact begins with a precisely defined and inspiring mental image of what you aim to create or accomplish. 13. Being driven is not the same as being passionate. Passion is a love for the journey. Drive is a need to reach the destination. Here's what that really means. Drive is a strong urge to achieve an outcome, while passion is a deep enjoyment and enthusiasm for the entire process of pursuing that outcome. 14. Complaining begets more complaints. Anger begets more anger, and optimism begets more optimism. This quote reminds us that emotions and attitudes, whether negative or positive, tend to propagate and intensify themselves. Your outlook often influences what you attract. 15. If everything goes right, we get a good experience. If everything goes wrong, we get a good story. Here's what that really means. Regardless of the outcome, every situation provides a valuable takeaway. Success is enjoyable, but failures often become memorable lessons and compelling narratives. 16. A boss who micromanages is like a coach who wants to get in the game. Leaders guide and support and then sit back to cheer from the sidelines. This quote reminds us that effective leaders empower their teams by guiding and supporting, trusting them to execute, rather than trying to control every detail like a micromanaging boss. 17. It doesn't matter how much we know, it matters how clearly others can understand what we know. Here's what that really means. The true measure of your knowledge or intelligence is not its volume, but your ability to effectively communicate and clarify it for others to grasp. 18. Look down from as high as possible. Look ahead as far as you can see. Then decide what to do. This quote reminds us that to make sound decisions, you should gain the broadest possible perspective, consider long-term implications, and then act based on that comprehensive understanding. 19. Knowledge is understanding based on what has been studied and learned. Wisdom is understanding based on what has been felt and experienced. Here's what that really means. Knowledge is acquired through formal learning, while wisdom is a deeper, practical understanding gained from life's direct experiences and reflection. 20. Before we can build the world we want to live in, we have to imagine it. This quote reminds us that any significant creation or positive change in the world must first originate as a clear and compelling vision in the mind. Imagination precedes reality. 21. Poor leaders push us towards the goal. Great leaders guide us through the journey. Here's what that really means. Ineffective leaders focus solely on the outcome, driving people forcefully, whereas great leaders prioritize the process, supporting and navigating their team through the entire path to achievement. 22. Leaders are the ones who have the courage to go first, to put themselves at personal risk to open a path for others to follow. This quote reminds us that true leaders demonstrate bravery by being the first to face challenges or uncertainties, setting an example and making it safer for others to follow. 23. Genius is in the idea. Impact, however, comes from action. Here's what that really means. Brilliant ideas alone are not enough. Their true value and ability to create change only manifests through decisive and consistent execution. 24. Because a true sense of purpose is deeply emotional, it serves as a compass to guide us to act in a way completely consistent with our values and beliefs. Purpose does not need to involve calculations or numbers. Purpose is about the quality of life. Purpose is human, not economic. This quote reminds us that a genuine, emotional purpose acts as an internal guide, ensuring our actions align with our deepest values, and its value lies in enhancing the quality of human life, not just economic metrics. 25. Leaders volunteer to go first into danger. Their willingness to sacrifice for us is the reason we're inspired to follow. Here's what that really means. The willingness of leaders to take risks and make sacrifices for their followers is what truly inspires loyalty and dedicated support. 26. Trust is built on telling the truth, not telling people what they want to hear. This quote reminds us that genuine trust is established through honesty and integrity, even when the truth is difficult, rather than by simply saying what is palatable or desirable. 27. Great leaders don't see themselves as great, they see themselves as human. Here's what that really means. Truly effective leaders possess humility and self-awareness, recognizing their own humanity and imperfections, rather than perceiving themselves as superior or infallible. 28. I don't care about convincing the people who think I'm naive or an idiot. I'm interested in how do I inspire the people who are open-minded that there's a different way of seeing the world. This quote reminds us that focus your energy on inspiring those who are receptive and open to new ideas, rather than trying to persuade skeptics or those with closed minds. 29. Leadership is not achieved by an individual. Leadership is bestowed by the group. Here's what that really means. A person doesn't unilaterally become a leader. True leadership is granted and affirmed by the willingness of a group to follow and trust them. 30. Hire people inspired to achieve something big over people who demand something big before they feel inspired. This quote reminds us that it's better to recruit individuals who are inherently motivated by a significant purpose than those who require external incentives before they become engaged. 31. We should invest in people, not ideas. A good idea is often destroyed by bad people, and good people can always make a bad idea better. Here's what that really means. Prioritize investing in talented and capable individuals, as their character and skill can elevate even weak concepts, while flawed people can ruin promising ideas. 32. A star wants to see himself rise to the top. A leader wants to see those around him rise to the top. This quote reminds us that a true leader's ambition is to elevate and empower their team members, contrasting with the self-serving individual who only seeks personal advancement. 33. Sometimes we give too much too soon. Sometimes we hold back for too long. This is our beautiful dance, our imperfect dance. This is the dance that makes us human. Here's what that really means. Life involves an imperfect balance of giving and holding back, making mistakes in both directions. This continuous, flawed negotiation is a fundamental part of the human experience. 34. The future is only scary if we try to avoid it. This quote reminds us that fear of the future often stems from resistance to change or avoidance of challenges. Embracing the unknown can transform fear into opportunity. 35. Any great and inspiring leader or organization that ever existed set out to do something completely unrealistic. Here's what that really means. Significant achievements and profound inspirations often arise from pursuing goals that initially seem impossible or highly improbable. Bold vision drives greatness. 36. We don't do business with companies. We do business with people. This quote reminds us that, despite corporate structures, all business interactions ultimately rely on human relationships and personal connections. People deal with people, not just entities. 37. Reality will always prevail, so why help it? Be an idealist and see what happens. Here's what that really means. Instead of just accepting things as they are, dare to envision and pursue a better world. Idealism can lead to change, rather than merely conforming to current limitations. 38. Make it about them, not about you. This quote reminds us that in interactions, particularly in leadership or service, focus on the needs, perspectives, and benefits of others rather than your own. Selflessness is key. 39. Pursue the thing inside us and others will help us. Pursue the things outside us and others will compete with us. Here's what that really means. Seeking intrinsic purpose and authenticity attracts support and collaboration, while chasing external rewards often leads to competition and conflict. 40. True leadership isn't the bastion of a few who sit at the top. We all need to step up, take the risk, and put our interests second, not always but when it counts. This quote reminds us that genuine leadership is a shared responsibility, not exclusive to those in formal positions. It involves everyone stepping up, taking risks, and prioritizing collective interests when necessary. 41. Let us not attack those who disagree. Let us defend those who follow. Here's what that really means. Instead of engaging in conflict with opponents, focus your energy on supporting and protecting your allies and those who believe in your cause. Prioritize loyalty and unity. 42. We very often confuse personality with leadership. This quote reminds us that charismatic or likable traits are often mistaken for genuine leadership abilities. True leadership is about impact, influence, and serving others, not just personal charm. 43. Our reputations do not come from how we talk about ourselves. Our reputations come from how others talk about us. Here's what that really means. Your true standing and character are ultimately defined by how others perceive and speak of you, not by your self-promotion or self-assessment. Reputation is built on external perception. Thank you for spending this moment with the Mind Shelf. Let this quote stay with you, and may your day be filled with peace and purpose. If it stirred something in you, don't let it fade. Reflect, share, and let's grow together, one thought at a time. What does this quote mean to you? Share your thoughts below. Your words might inspire someone else today. If you'd like more gentle wisdom and soulful reflections, don't forget to subscribe and join our growing mindful community. And if you're watching this as you wind down, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and carry this wisdom into your dreams. Until next time, rest well.